So I asked Conor this question last time, and he said I was trying to get him to talk bad about you, but that's not true. That's not what I was trying to do. But sometimes when you work with a friend on a project for a very long time, it shows stuff within your friendship that you didn't realize was there before. Has it been an easy experience working with Conor this entire time?
Definitely not an easy experience with working with Conor. I mean, we don't usually spend this much amount of time together. Usually we see each other every other week or something like that for a short period of time. And so this is the first time in a long time that we've spent like a lot of time together.
But you got to the end.
Almost there.
You're so close. You're so close. So what's it been like working with Conor as both a producer but also an actor and kind of a director where he's wearing all these different hats?
It goes day by day, I feel like. I mean, sometimes it's easier to direct him than others. Sometimes I feel like he still is in kind of director mode and he's not quite acting and like he just has to kind of switch out of it but it all works out.
Yeah, he said that was the hardest part for him.
Hi, my name is Jack Bigelow and this is my golden hour.
A double clap signifies the start of another GDP episode. Who is with us today?
This is I, Jack Bigelow.
And what have you been doing on the production?
I have been executive producing and creating the different props for the movie.
So this is your second time on for the film.
Correct.
How has it changed from then to now?
Well, to be honest with you, going into it, I thought it was going to be a lot easier, and it has been a marathon. It's been a lot of hard work.
What's been the hardest part so far?
Hardest part so far? I'd just say when it comes to certain camera angles, it just takes a lot of preparation in terms of lighting, making sure certain things are in the shot, you're not having continuity errors, just going back to make sure that everything looks as best as it can.
So today's the last day of filming, at least in Apple Cinemas.
Correct, yeah.
And there's only one more scene.
Yes.
If you could go back and tell yourself something at the start of this, what would you tell yourself?
I would tell myself that I was going to go a few more weeks than we had expected. And I would also say that it's going to get done. So I'd be happy about that.
So what's been the biggest lesson you've learned then?
Biggest lesson I've learned? It's a good question. I mean, I feel like we've learned from our past that we're able to do these bigger type sets, but I think I feel like we thought we were pushing ourselves with this movie, and I feel like now we realize that we weren't even pushing ourselves. Like, we can go even bigger than what we did do.
So Conor was talking last time about some other stuff in the works. Are you aware that there's stuff in the works?
Well, there's always things in the works, per se. We're always talking about new ideas and whatnot. Will any of them happen? I'm not sure. But we're always talking about new things and new projects that we want to work on.
What do you want to do next?
Well, really, I would just like to focus on making this movie a product. Right now, it's just the pieces, and I personally prefer the part where we kind of put it together, market it, kind of come with the branding and all that stuff. That's the stuff I enjoy.
So, you have one more. Like I said, you're going into your final scene. How are you feeling now that it's going to be over? Conor said he was feeling very bittersweet.
Oh, I'm very happy for it to be over. I'm very excited to start working on the next process of the film.
Are you coming back to the podcast at all, or are you like, no, film only from now on?
Well, I mean, I'm not really sure what you mean by that question.
Well, you do a lot of the graphics for the podcast, and we'll be going into a new season after the movie.
Correct. I mean, I'm not really sure how we're gonna move forward with the podcast, whether it's like we're gonna do these type of interviews or behind the scenes until the movie's completely finished and edited. Like I haven't talked to either you guys or Conor about that, so I haven't really heard that side of the situation.
I have a kind of off-topic question for you, but what kind of movies do you watch? Like, is this film in the like genre of films that you typically watch?
No, I definitely don't watch a lot of post-apocalyptic videos or movies or any of that. I love comedies, and I like action movies. I like all movies, to be honest. I really just love movies. I'll watch pretty much any movie that you sit me in front of.
Really, that's interesting. So what is your favorite movie then of all time?
Favorite movie? Tough one. Free Willy is definitely up there.
Wow, that was not the answer I was expecting to get. What gets you about the whale?
It's like I don't know. I watched it religiously as a kid, and I still love the movie. I think it's great. I think you got the kid who's got the rough relationship with his parents and his like adoptive parents, if you want to call them, and there's this kind of connection he has with this animal, and I know as a kid it spoke to me a lot. But that one, Mighty Python and the Holy Grail, it's one of my favorite comedy movies.
All Monty Python, or just?
Well, the Holy Grail is my favorite,
Mm-hmm.
but I like Life of Brian and all the other ones as well. And then action movie, my favorite action movie is this movie called Ong Bak, which is a Thai movie.
Oh, that's really cool. So do movies hold like a sense of nostalgia for you then? Is that why you really like them? Or are you going to theaters and like seeing a movie and being like, whoa, that's a film?
Definitely nostalgia value. Like going on family road trips, we always had like a mini TV, like VHS, like squeezed in between our seats so that the kids could watch movies on the travels to wherever. And I don't know, I just grew up watching a ton of movies.
So has making this project made you have a greater respect for the people that you like, who make the movies you like?
I mean, I look at movies in a much different lens now that we've started to make smaller productions and short films and that kind of stuff. Like, it's interesting. It kind of takes you a little bit out of it, where you are more looking at an analytical sense instead of just like enjoying it for what it is.
So what movies were you analyzing going into this project then? Because Conor like cited Ex Machina as one of his inspirations. What were some of your inspirations as an executive producer?
Well, for me, it was more like my role was kind of filling in wherever Conor was struggling. Like, if he couldn't figure something out, I was there to come up with a solution. I wouldn't say that I was looking at any movie in particular or any set of movies in particular. Just kind of going back in the bank, trying to figure out, all right, what works, kind of know what that's supposed to look like. And then I would go back and try to find references, and that's when I would like look up certain movies.
So what's been your favorite day on set so far?
Favorite day on set? I love all the zombie scenes. Those were always very interesting. Seeing kids getting their guts eaten out and all that fun stuff. I do enjoy that. And these shorter day sets are always nice because we get a lot done in a quick period of time, which always feels really good.
What's it like filming inside an abandoned theater? Lexi and I, well, not really abandoned, but kind of abandoned. Lexi and I have really enjoyed exploring and seeing like everything that you don't typically get to see when you're a patron. So what's it been like filming here?
Well, interesting enough, me and Conor actually would come here all the time as kids.
Really?
And even like in high school, like we would come here like a few times a week, and we literally just walk down into one of these theaters and sit and watch a movie and usually fall asleep. So like we've walked, like we would go through the exit signs and we would go like hide through different parts of the theater even when we were just patrons.
So what's it been like then to have this as part of your like coming of age and also being able to have it now in part of your life?
I mean, it's awesome. I mean, me and Conor both grew up coming to Fresh Pond. There used to be a bowling alley like half a mile away that we go to all the time. Unfortunately, it's no longer there, but yeah, no, we've had a lot of time here. So it's nice coming back here.
Lexi, do you have any questions, ma'am?
What are you excited about next that's not having to do with marketing the film or anything to do with the film? Does anything else really strike your
What am I excited for next? I'm excited for the winter. I love the cold weather. I love skiing. I love the snow.
Where's your favorite ski spot?
Well, I live up in Vermont near a mountain called Sugarbush, which is in the Meta River Valley.
I've been to Vermont once, and it was for Thanksgiving freshman year. I went home with a friend, and she lives in Rutland, and that was my
That's
experience of Vermont.
Well, I mean, not to bash Rutland, but Rutland is not a good example for what it is.
She called it Rut Vegas.
Yes, it is known for being quite the place, full of a lot of interesting characters.
So, if you live in Vermont, did you originally live here in Massachusetts? Like, how did you and Conor?
I grew up in Massachusetts. Me and Conor grew up in the same town, and then for college, I moved up to Vermont.
Where'd
and
you
I
go?
grew up going up to Vermont. I went to Champlain College in Burlington.
Oh, okay, cool. So you were talking about the winter. Is there anything project-based that you're excited for that's not the film?
Well, I mean, in terms of GDP, that's going to be mostly the focus is just the film. I mean, I'm sure, like you said, new podcast season, so that's going to be involved. I mean, I have a few projects outside of Golden Deer Productions that I work on in terms of just like graphic design and marketing in other projects and whatnot.
So you already did some graphics and stuff for this film. Do you want to talk about it? You did like the book cover.
Yeah, we have book covers, we did popcorn boxes, we did hand sanitizer, we did name tags, trying to think of what else. There's a few others. But moving forward, the marketing is going to be huge for it. We're going to do like cardboard cutouts, huge banners and billboards and animations and all that kind of fun stuff.
So, is it different for you marketing like a real product versus marketing something that's within the film, like making the book cover, hand sanitizers, etc.?
I mean, Conor gives me a pretty good sense of what he wants for everything, and so I just kind of take what words he gives me and just put them on paper. That's really what happens.
So it's an easy process. You guys work well together.
Yes, definitely. We've figured it out.
So I asked Conor this question last time, and he said I was trying to get him to talk bad about you, but that's not true. That's not what I was trying to do. But sometimes when you work with a friend on a project for a very long time, it shows stuff within your friendship that you didn't realize was there before. Has it been an easy experience working with Conor this entire time?
Definitely not an easy experience working with Conor. I mean, we don't usually spend this much amount of time together.
Mm-hmm.
Usually we see each other every other week or something like that for a short period of time. And so this is the first time in a long time that we've spent like a lot of time together.
But you got to the end.
Almost there.
You're so close. So what's it been like working with Conor as both a producer but also an actor and kind of a director where he's wearing all these different hats?
It goes day by day. I feel like, I mean, sometimes it's easier to direct him than others. Sometimes I feel like he still is in kind of director mode and he's not quite acting and like he just has to kind of switch out of it but it all works out.
Yeah, he said that was the hardest part for him.
Yeah.
He also mentioned that he's not getting a lot of sleep and not eating very much. How are you doing there?
Sleep wise, I can agree not getting a ton of sleep because of the film. I wouldn't say I'm starving myself, but I have lost a significant amount of weight just over filming.
Really?
But
that's crazy. So are you not eating on set then?
No, we don't. I rarely eat on set. The only time I've eaten on set is like after like an 8-hour shift where we've gotten Chipotle, and that's been the most of it.
Not to keep bringing up Conor, but we were receiving the videos from Conor while he was doing his water cutting.
Water fast,
yeah, where he was dehydrating himself. What was it like working with him during that time? Because he seemed crazy to us.
Yeah, no, it was pretty miserable to be honest with you. He was, it was very interesting dealing with him. It took him a few days to like recovery. Like I'd pull up in the parking lot and I'd see him and he would just be like looking like he's walking while half asleep.
Do you think he's recovered now? He says he's not.
I'd say he's basically recovered. In terms of the water fast, I think Conor's character is always going to be who he is, and so I don't know if recovery is really Conor's mindset.
So, we asked you kind of a similar question the last time you were on, but a little twist on the question. If a zombie apocalypse happens, where are you going? And has your answer changed since starting the film?
Well, personally, I don't remember what my original answer was, but I would definitely go up in Vermont, and I would probably find an old army bunker or something and live in that thing.
Where are you getting food, though?
It's a good question. Well, it depends on what's happened to the atmosphere. Like, can we still grow stuff? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, no. It's a zombie. It's typical zombie Walking Dead apocalypse. Yeah.
Well, I would then try to get as many supplies as possible. Unfortunately, farming does take some time, so it's not like you put a seed in the ground the next day you're gonna have food.
Mhm.
So I'd at least get started on that. I don't know how long the apocalypse is gonna happen.
And you know our final bit, so if you would like to look into the camera and say it's your golden hour, and that was my golden hour, go for it.
Okay. Hi, my name is Jack Bigelow, and that was my golden hour.
Perfect.